Kevin Bacon has teamed up once again with his Stir of Echoes director for a creepy house horror, You Should Have Left. It's now available on demand, but is it worth the rental price? A man with a shadowy past, his actress wife, and their young daughter rent a vacation home in Wales before his wife starts a new acting gig. They're not there very long when he begins to experience some very weird phenomena. Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried star in this. They have some good banter back and forth, but you can definitely feel a palpable tension between the two. Bacon is giving us a performance that feels both relaxed and genuine. He has what seem to be off-the-cuff remarks that really resonated, at least with me, because they are sarcastic and witty, and it really feels like something I would say in some of those situations. Surprisingly, there's some understated humor throughout the movie. I mean, one time Bacon goes to a local shop to get some groceries, and his interaction with the shopkeeper just made me chuckle. There's also times where he's going through the house or he's interacting with his daughter, and he just has some little snarky comments or some under-his-breath type of sarcasm, and those made me laugh a little bit as well. It's not a gut-busting, laugh-out-loud type of thing, but it was different to break up a little bit of the tension that I may have been feeling. I really love the haunted house concept. Now, the house that the couple rents isn't necessarily haunted, but there is some creepiness and some weird things that are going on within it. The layout is pretty cool of the house. I mean, there's a lot of different hallways and hidden rooms and staircases, and it would seem like a lot of fun to walk through, but not something that you would want to spend the night in. Some of the house reminds me a little bit of the house from 13 Ghosts, except way less jacked up and violent. Now, this is billed as a horror, but it's really more of a subtle thriller with some creepiness thrown in. Maybe a little bit of psychological thrills also in there. I didn't experience a scared feeling, but more so a sense of unease at times. Now, there might have been a jump scare or two in there, but honestly, I didn't jump through it. I wasn't even scared throughout the movie. So if they were there, or if there were some things that were meant to make me kind of lurch out of my seat, it didn't do that. Now, we know right from the very start of the movie that there is going to be a lot of weird things going on. And that makes us question whether or not we can actually trust our eyes. Was there something really there? Was it all just a dream? Was it purely a figment of imagination? I like the uncertainty that this creates. I mean, the story could be terribly obvious, but because of some of the things that we can't really trust and we can't just be absolutely sure of what we're seeing, it adds a little bit of doubt and it helps divert us. This is a quick watch, and they do give us a bit of character development as the scenes progress. They tease out bits of info, but once it's revealed, it really does begin to feel shallow or undeveloped, especially in the character arcs. I really wanted more time spent on the relationship between Bacon and Seyfried. I really think that there was more in there that could have been unearthed, and what that would do is just have a greater impact than on us as viewers. It's 93 minutes long, so it's not a big time investment, but honestly, I think it could have benefited from like an extra 15 minutes to give us a little bit more story development and even add some more layers to the story itself to make it a little darker, to really up the creepiness factor and make it more of that thriller that it's wanting to be. With the oddness of the house and the quirks that it introduces, there are times where it feels a little bit like Scooby-Doo. We have connecting rooms and going from location to location. It's not to say that it's cheesy or cartoonish, but just so that you have a mental picture in your mind. I mean, if you remember the old Scooby-Doo where they would run from, you'd see a hallway and they'd run out of a door and into this one, and then they'd jump forward and it's coming down another, door, and just back and forth. And that's what this setup allows for, that the rooms are weird. The house itself is very weird, and you never know where the layout is going to lead you, and so it does provide some fun in that. I had fun with this, and I appreciate the shadowy figures that appear in the periphery. Ultimately, though, I think that it could have benefited from an amped-up dose of suspense and tension. The acting is good, and I really did enjoy the location and the premise of the story. If you're going to watch this by yourself, I don't think it's really worth the rental price. But if you're going to watch it with a group of friends or even the family, then the price per person goes way down, and then I do think it is worth it. There's sex, brief nudity, profanity, and some violence. I give You Should Have Left 3.5 out of 5 couches. Do you have a favorite Kevin Bacon performance? I'd love to know what that is in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.